Okay, this isn't because it's a women's conference, so RMD.
Some men were also invited to the gathering. One of the major outstanding brands from the stable of Nigeria's movie industry and a former Honorable Commissioner for Culture and Tourism in Delta State, Richard Mofedamijo, popularly called RMD, makes a compelling case for entertainment and culture.
Government must have a deliberate policy to affect entertainment, not intervention. No, we don't need intervention. We need policies that are not dependent on PDP or APC. When you make a policy for growth, it shouldn't be dependent on the party in power. It is pure administrative, simple and steady.
Popular actress representing the entertainment industry, Funke Akindele Bello, reels out figures supporting the immense potential and growth of her industry, but not without some entertainment.
In the movie industry, commendable initiatives backed with digital technology have created opportunities to sell movies online besides YouTube. Yes, even on YouTube. Recently, I must confess, I also caught the bug of monetizing my content on YouTube. And I know how much I make monthly from it. I'm not gonna say it. It's a private affair. Encoded in. Okay. As a creatively endowed country, Nigeria needs to invest and manage her wealth of human resources to excel. Take decisive steps to clamp down piracy. Jennifer's Diary is on DVD. I only released season 1, 2, 3, 4. In Alaba, everywhere I can see season 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. I was surprised. I couldn't sell the ones I printed. No. I could not. They pirated it. They sell it 50 naira everywhere of low quality. And people don't mind. They want to watch. And when I went to the police station, I made a report. I wrote a statement. I would do something about it. Somebody called me aside. Alaba boys are powerful. Onitsha boys are powerful. If Bank of Industry give me money to produce a movie now, aside the cinema, online, okay, what if I want to release it on DVD? How will I make my money back? I'll be in trouble. They hold on my content. Yes, I won't have it anymore. So it's high time the government comes into the industry, make it better.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
In his own speech, the acting MD CEO, Bank of Industry, Mr. Wahid Olagunju, shows the women areas of the economy they could invest in and contribute to national development.
Botswana, I was there recently. They export beef to Europe, to the Scandinavian countries, as well as South Africa. But the problem they have is that they do not have enough food for their cattle. They do not have enough grains. So they are looking forward to Nigeria to export grains to Botswana to feed their own cattle. So within Africa, there's a lot of opportunity for intra-African trade and intra-African business. Well, there is also what we call the Lakaji Corridor, an initiative being supported by the US government, linking the two biggest markets in Nigeria, Lagos and Kano. There are 10 states along that corridor, terminating in Jibia, in Katsina State, which looks to exporting food from Nigeria to landlocked African countries. Around those states, too, there are 10 other states. So the framework is there, the structure is there. The US government made $2.4 million available to support businesses along that corridor, entrepreneurs to develop their business plans. And when those business plans are produced, we are on hand to provide finance for those businesses across the entire value chain. The value chain, horizontally and vertically for agriculture, is quite extensive. Before you plant, there is pre-planting. A lot of efforts have to go into pre-planting. When you plant, you have to nurture, you have to harvest. After harvesting, you have to process. You have to add value. When you process, you have to package. When you package, you have to transport. So from farm to fork, from farm to fashion. There's a lot that can be done. A lot of jobs are created in the process. So that's why we say when you invest in agriculture, when you do a lot of agri, you are growing the economy indirectly because of those various activities. I'm talking about specifics. In the north, prior to oil, there was groundnuts. So it's been tested that we can thrive, we can develop, we can live on agriculture. There are pyramids in the north. In the west, there was cocoa. It was from cocoa, proceeds from cocoa, that we had the first TV station in Africa. We had TV in Nigeria before they had television in Canada and France because of oil. Because of cocoa, I beg your pardon, before oil came. The Liberty Stadium was built. Another infrastructure was laid. Same thing in the north as well. Most of the developments in the northern parts of the country, the western part of the country, and indeed the eastern part of the country were anchored on revenue from agriculture. So we're not saying anything new. This has been tested. What we are saying is that let's go back to where we were before we derailed. And luckily, for most of these products, Nigeria ranks among the top 10 in the world. For example, cassava. We are the highest producer of cassava in the world. But in terms of value addition, we are the least. Thailand rank high. They're able to do quite a lot with cassava. There is no reinventing the wheel. There's a lot we can learn from Thailand and other countries who have done quite well with cassava. Cashew nuts, we rank number 2 in the world. Maize, number 2. Oil palm, number 4. Vegetables, number 4. Cocoa beans, number 5. Sesame seeds, number 6. Natural rubber, 10. And many others. So when I say I don't know of any country that is better endowed than Nigeria, these are evidences of our natural endowments. And all we just need to do is to master chef to ensure that we put our house in order and get our acts together. In terms of what's been done, luckily we have the wife of the Kebbi State Governor here. The prime movers of development anywhere in the world are governments, the private sector, the international development community, community-based organizations, and then of course our traditional rulers. The governments come first because they provide the enabling environment. In an area like agriculture, it can be highly capital intensive. And all over the world, governments subsidize agriculture. Like what we saw in Kebbi, the rice revolution is unprecedented. They've been able to show us that we can be self-sufficient in rice. And a lot of rice can be grown in Nigeria. We have no business importing rice. And it's a highly labor-intensive process. And what they did in Kebbi with the central bank, they provided a lot of inputs. Not much cash was given to the farmers. They were provided those inputs. But we understand that most of those farmers are now able to service their loans. They are very, very honest, they are very diligent, and they are very, very dedicated, and they are committed. And the Kebbi example is being copied in other parts of the country. During the week, we saw the governor of the central bank, and indeed the governor of Kebbi in neighboring Ogun State, trying to replicate what has been done in Kebbi in other parts of the country. So what is clear is that our governments are taking the lead at the center and at the state. So at the Bank of Industry, what we're saying is that we are set up to assist you, and we shall continue to do so. Talking about women, the Bank of Industry is the first bank in the country to establish a gender desk. That was 10 years ago, when Ms. Pt.2 was the managing director of Bank of Industry. And I dare say that the bank was transformed under her leadership. So at the Bank of Industry, we know the worth of women in the boardroom. Nobody needs to preach to us because she led the transformation of the Bank of Industry.
Welcome. A former Secretary General of the United Nations, Kofi Annan, says there is no tool for development more effective than empowering women. This, the Bank of Industry knows so well. That's why, aside from giving loans, the Bank of Industry also provides business support services through their accredited MSME consultants, especially to women. To learn more about this, visit boi.ng or call at any of their branches most accessible to you. Whether you need funds to run a new business or for an expansion of an existing enterprise, you can simply go to the Google Play Store to download the BOI SME Loan app, and you can send in your loan application through that means. My Twitter handle is at KAY Alayande. Feel free to connect. I'm Kayode Alayande. Bye now.